What's up, guys? Blade Master here, bringing you some Total War Attila tournament action. This is the first round in Pontic's Total War tournament, the Fall of Rome, and I'm watching this from 59tiger95's perspective. He is going to be playing RomanRonin in a best of three. So for the uninitiated, the rules of the Fall of Rome tournament are max 4 pikes, I believe, and max 6 cavalry, max 2 tegmata, which is interesting, and I think that's a very good rule instead of banning it altogether. And the player at the top of the bracket picks the faction and map first. And for the second match, the roles get reversed. The player at the bottom of the bracket does it. And if it goes to 1-1, then the third match will be a tiebreaker, and it will be a Western Roman Empire versus Western Roman Empire match. Whoever, like, once you pick a faction, you can't use it until the third round. The factions get reset in the third round. So in this matchup, we are looking at it from Tiger's perspective. He's got a YouTube channel, which I will link in the description. He's got a lot of multiplayer content as well. So in that sense, it's a very interesting channel that you guys should probably check out and you'd probably like. He has taken the Jutes, very strong faction, and RomanRonin has taken a very strong faction himself. He has taken the Alans. So powerhouse versus powerhouse faction here. And surprisingly for the Alans, let's go ahead and just pause this for a second. For the Alans, let's take a look at RomanRonin's build. He's brought only 2 Germanic crossbowmen. He has not brought any Germanic archers, which is very strange because Jutes are one of the factions that you can definitely expect archers to do very well against. They can destroy the Huskals. The Nordic Horse Lords will also die pretty quickly to concentrated archer fire. But anyways, the Nordic Horse Lords aren't too much of a concern. So he's got a couple of Germanic crossbowmen. This is RomanRonin. And he's got a couple of Germanic pikes behind them. It looks like he's gone with a front line of 6 Sarmatian warband. And behind them, he's brought a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 Germanic horsemen with, well, 3 of them, no, all 4 of them have gold chevrons, triple gold chevrons. 5 Germanic horsemen and 1 Alani general. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, there we go. So RomanRonin is one of the few players. He's from the RTK clan, Roundtable Knights clan, if you guys didn't know. One of the few players who's probably taken very, very well to Attila and the state of Attila at launch. He's, I think he's number 7 in the leaderboard rankings, and I know that it doesn't make. I mean, it's not a huge indicator of quality, the leaderboard ranks, but it's not like Rome 2. People don't seem to exploit the game too much to just get into the leaderboards. I know a lot of my friends who are like extremely good Total War Attila players are on the leaderboards simply because they deserve to be there, and they are very good players, and RomanRonin definitely is one of them. So Tiger has his hands full here, but with the Jutes, he definitely has a very good counter to the Alans. He's brought a total of 4 herdmen, and he's brought a total of 3 Nordic bows. He has brought a couple of Royal Huskals and a couple of Nordic Levy. And it looks like he's brought some more Royal Huskals. He's brought a total of 4 Royal Huskals and 1 Viking Captain. Bit too heavy on the Huskal so far. He's got a couple of Warhounds, very good unit, 100 talents, very cheap. And he's brought a total of 4 Nordic Horse Lords. Now you guys got to remember, this was played a while ago. Since this is round 1 and currently the tournament is on round 2, a lot of mistakes probably would have been made, and you know, builds are not perfect. But that said, you know, though making mistakes in tournaments make for the most fun tournament matches, in my opinion. So I think this, while it might not be the most perfect display of skills in a tournament match, I think it'll be very, very interesting. Although I'm not sure, this is the first time I'm watching these games. So Germanic crossbowmen for the Alans for RomanRonin, taking a ton of damage and then going and shooting at the herdmen, which is not a smart idea. He should instead just focus on the Royal Huskals, who do not have any missile block chance, and who are a much more dangerous unit than the herdmen, who are very good units themselves, but at the end of the day are very cheap units and will probably get decimated by the Sarmatian warband. You should also try and just focus maybe on the Nordic Horse Lords. Those are units that can cause a lot of fear, and in that sense they are a pretty nice counter to Germanic Horsemen, and especially fully upgraded Germanic Horsemen, although the morale of these units is very, very nice right now. So 1 Germanic Horseman fighting up against 2 Nordic Horse Lords. It looks like Tiger is a bit too late using his War Dogs to try and hit the Germanic horseman and impede their charge before he charges in with his Nordic Ocelots. But over here, this is very strange move from RomanRonin. His Sarmatian warband are just piling in behind his pikes and trying to attack the herdmen. He did get a beautiful charge here with his Alani general on the Royal Huskarls. The Huskarls are dead. There's no chance they're going to survive from this. Oh, they're only at half strength. Okay, and the Alani general is forced to pull back, and then the extremely high melee attack and weapon damage of the Royal Huskarl is going to play there, and you can see he's taken a ton of casualties just pulling out. This is one of the many reasons why Shock Cav isn't as good as melee Cav in doing that. Here, the Royal Huskarl is making short work of the Sarmatian warband. They got 21 kills before they got destroyed. More Sarmatian warband here, just pouring in. I mean, they're attacking the Royal Huskarls now. One of them is basically done. He used his general very effectively against them. Now he's charging in with his Germanic horsemen onto the rear of another Royal Huskarls, but their charge wasn't very strong. The Huskarls are taking a lot of damage, but now this is going to be the real difference maker. Alani general coming in for another charge on the Royal Huskarls. These are units that cost a ton of money, and Tiger needs them to survive in order to win the game. Despite the mistake committed here by RomanRonin, piling in his Sarmatian warband pretty unnecessarily, he still has a huge upper hand over the main line of herdmen. And here he's going to come in with a rear charge with his Germanic horseman. This is going to be pretty decisive. I can almost safely say that RomanRonin looks set to win this match. A lot of the herdman units are wavering. The Germanic horseman rear charge has killed plenty of units. And over here, the Nordic levy just won't do a lot of damage, which is why I don't really like bringing spears at this point. They just don't do enough damage in a short enough period of time to warrant the extra cost. Might as well just bring some melee infantry who are much more versatile while performing basically the same role. Alani general here sticking in with the Royal Huskarls, who are getting a ton of kills here, and they are killing a lot of these Germanic horsemen. And the Alani general is going to drop very quickly unless RomanRonin pulls them out. But the problem is when he does pull them out, he's going to take a ton of casualties anyways. And I'm not really sure, but I think that's probably the wisest move, because here Nordic Horselars are going to come in for a rear charge, and they already got one javelin volley off on these Alani general and the Alani general. I think it's basically done for the general. So I think Tiger has definitely pulled this back. The main line is crumbling for him, but the Royal Huskarls, I think, will probably be able to do a lot of damage. You can see the Sarmatian warband are starting to waver now. And the Germanic horseman, he's going to, RomanRonin is pulling them out, this is a smart instance of pulling out the Germanic horseman, because most of the enemy are already engaged with another unit, so you can pretty safely pull them out. He has taken a lot of casualties though, 8 casualties I think, just pulling them out, but still that's not too much compared to the amount of casualties they probably would have taken otherwise. The Alani general is basically done. Let's take a look. I think the general is dead. Shaken, casualty sustained. I wouldn't be surprised at all. I mean, there's only 13 units left in the Alani general. -8 morale for these units. I don't have my headphones on, so I'm not really sure if the dude has said that the general is dead or not. Germanic horsemen though, they probably will do a lot of damage. They're going to attack the Nordic bows, and maybe he should have just tried to circle around, but I guess he just didn't have the space. It definitely doesn't look like it's going to go in RomanRonin's favor. The herdmen and Royal Huskarl main line stayed strong. He made a pretty clear mistake when he just piled in his Sarmatian warband. He should have instead just used them to cover the flanks, maybe turned on shield wall, or much more effectively just charge in after his Germanic horsemen and then use them to support the cavalry battle much quicker than the Nordic levy. And in that sense, he probably would have won the cavalry flanks much easier. And he did a good job with his general. He did a very good job with his general. But the problem is that with a shock cav unit, especially with the general, even though the Alani general is a very nice unit, having a shock cav general is a very, very risky proposition. And despite them getting a lot of kills, at the end of the day, they got into a situation that they couldn't get out of, and then they died very quickly. And that's one of the main reasons why I don't like to bring a cavalry general in general. I don't really like to bring a cavalry general because you kind of are very tempted to put them into action, and they are a lot of money going to waste if you don't put them into action. But on the other hand, they can very easily just get killed and die. And in that sense, they could probably be much more of a liability than an asset to your army. So first game goes to Tiger. 59tiger95 wins this game against a very strong opponent. I would definitely rate RomanRonin to be up there with some of the best players in Attila right now. Let's take a look at the stats. The Huskals did a ton of damage. 87, 181 and 191, 168 kills. The Royal Huskals definitely won the match for Tiger. His Herdman line kind of stayed strong for a long time, which is basically their biggest use. They have the scare ability, which is a huge boost for a unit that costs only 425 talents, I believe, or 450. And on top of that, they've got enough health for them to be tanky enough to hold out a main line of Sarmatian Warband, who have a ton of melee attack and weapon damage themselves. The Nordic Horselord somehow managed to win out against the Germanic Horsemen, and I think that was because of timely spear support. The Nordic Levy at the end of the day got 63 and 19 kills, which is good for a unit that costs so less. And the Viking captain also did pretty well. The Nordic Bows killed off the Germanic Crossbowman threat from RomanRonin. These units could have got at least like 100 to 150 kills if used correctly. But the reason you can't just simply bring Germanic Crossbows, you need to bring a couple of Germanic Archers if you're going to bring those units. The Germanic Crossbowmen cost so much that you cannot afford to simply bring these units. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but you just simply cannot afford to bring some of the bring only crossbowmen. You need to bring a couple of cheap archers so that they can absorb enemy archer fire, and then you have the luxury of moving these crossbows to their more dangerous areas and let them target the infantry. Anyways, guys, that's the end of game 1. Stay tuned for game 2 and possibly game 3 of round 1 of the Fall of Rome Pontics Total War tournaments. Stay tuned. Bye.